What up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode, as always, is brought to you by Off the Record. We love Off the Record so much. And over the holidays, I got 3 more emails of people whose backsides were saved by Off the Record. I love when you get that text message after you sign up for Off the Record. You send them your information. You tell them what happened when you got a ticket. You send them a copy of the ticket. You don't hear from them for a while. But my favorite thing is when you get that text message just out of nowhere. Your ticket has been dismissed. Oof, man, does that make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Don't plead guilty. Get Off the Record. If you get pulled over and ticketed for anything at all, Off the Record has attorneys in their network in that jurisdiction. They're going to fight that ticket on your behalf. Take it all the way if need be. And of course, all you have to do is go to offtherecord.com/TST. That's offtherecord.com/TST. We'll give you 10% off all legal services booked through Off the Record just for getting there through your boys at the Smoking Tire. One more time, offtherecord.com/TST. Do it. All right, our first show of 2026. We took last week off, you see, and we're back in the studio. I was down in Miami, got to drive myself a RUF Yellowbird. Yes, I did. Also did a little bit of vintage racing and murdered a lot of quail. Also murdered some quail. We got shrinkflated on up here. Zach saw some cool stuff on the mountain. And boy, these rich people really have a lot to purchase, don't they? All that and more on today's episode of The Smoking Tire. Let's go. What's fucking happening? What's going on? Hello. Hello. My voice is a little bit shot today. There's a lot of loud talking in Miami this weekend.
Racetrack talking,
nightclub talking,
oh, boy.
Loud restaurant talking. Miami's loud.
Yeah.
It's a loud place. I'm right at home there. People are loud, but it's my voice is a little shot.
Yeah.
So, hey everybody, we're back. This is our first show of the new year. I didn't make an announcement that we were just taking off the week of January 5th. We just did.
Yeah.
So
I told the Patreon members.
Okay.
I think
I got a couple like DMs that were like WTF, and I was like, bro.
I got far fewer than I was expecting,
Chilsky.
which I think highlighted how busy everyone is the first week of January. Because we made content basically through Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and we had one question on Patreon today. Like, yes, we took the first week of January off. I think a lot of people didn't notice because everyone was back at work answering 800 emails that were kicked from December. But we took our holiday in January.
Yeah, basically because mainly, because I have to work at the shop all through the holidays so my staff can take off. So then I leave after that. And I went bird hunting with my dad for a couple days, got some birds, as you do. Ate some birds. Didn't bring any birds back this time. I always bring birds back, but I didn't really feel like it this time. Got a lot. Went to a 28 gauge this year. Smaller gun.
Way smaller.
Time. Smaller, yeah. Wow. Normally, in the past, I would shoot birds with a 20. And my dad switched to a 28 in order to make it a little harder. Because we were shooting too many birds.
You guys are really good at it.
Well, we were shooting, and you're shooting, they charge you per bird.
Okay.
So if you're good and you go shoot a lot of birds, it's really expensive.
Are you making it harder so that it's less expensive?
I mean, it's like at a certain point, once you can kill all the birds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like playing the video game on easy, but once you beat it on easy, you ratchet up the skill level and try again. So a 28 gauge is a smaller gun, but it's also lighter, which is nice. It did not seem to negatively impact my ability to kill birds. We killed just as many birds with the smaller gun.
Well, the problem is if you're center shot, even with the bigger bore, if you shrink it down, you're still hitting the middle.
Well, there's a trade-off, right? You could do this to cars, right? A little less horsepower, a little more agility.
Yeah.
I can move the gun faster. I can draw the gun faster.
Right.
You can do stuff faster.
You're the Miata now, racing the Camaros in SCCA, whatever.
Something like that. Yeah. So
that's cool.
It was fun. And I found a new favorite hunting dog. Shout out to Clover, my new favorite hunting little Cocker Spaniel. Love a Cocker Spaniel. Yeah.
I didn't know they use those for hunting.
That's the flushing dog. So we use 3 dogs when we hunt. We use 2 short hair pointers, either English or German short hair pointers, and they just fucking run. They run these figure 8 patterns all over whatever direction you point, and then when they smell a bird, they freeze.
Yeah.
And then you walk up with the cocker, and they go flush in there, and the cocker jumps around and scares
makes a bunch of noise and
scares up the birds,
right.
and then all 3 of them retrieve the birds. Pretty sweet setup.
Very impressive.
But the cockers are like snuggly. Like the short hair pointers are like, they're friendly, but they're pretty much all business.
Yeah, they're sporting dogs, and
that's a working dog for sure. Yeah. The cocker is a working dog, but it's like pretty happy to be there, and like will sit on your lap for the truck ride back to the the lodge.
We saw one of those yesterday at the beach, and Sarah looked at it and she goes, "When I'm 70, like that's the dog I'm going to get." Or I think it was King Charles. Never mind, different breed.
Cavalier King Charles, also a very good
similar
dog.
Size.
Yeah. But the move is to, you get yourself set up with one of these hunting lodges, and you can either adopt a retired hunting dog because they retire them at like 4.
Wow.
The cockers, because they have shorter legs, they have to work a little harder.
Yeah.
The pointers can go a little further.
Each mile for a Cocker Spaniel is like 7 miles for the other ones.
Yeah. But then every litter of puppies, even if it's the offspring of hunting dogs, every once in a while one of them just like doesn't like hunting. And they adopt them out once they like fail hunting school. That
makes sense.
So you can get one that's never hunted, or you can get a retired hunter. And they're basically free. I mean,
it'd be so funny if you got a former hunting dog and all it did all day was flush your cats out of wherever they are. Because it has that in its brain. It needs to find and frighten.
Yeah.
And that's just its job.
Find and frighten. Totally. Yeah. So a little of that, and then Miami, the Concours Club. The Concours Club it's a private club, so it's you can argue whether or not private racetrack, those 2 center pictures are both Concours Club. You can argue whether private racing facilities are good or bad for humanity, but this one happens to be run the attention to detail is extraordinary. These guys are fucking aces. Their staff over there is great. Aaron, the guy who runs the joint, is awesome.
Yep. We
were down there doing some stuff last year, and they're just as good. So they had a thing called Flat Six Fest. You can guess what that is. It was basically a big Porsche show, 600-700 people, heavy hitting metal. I have never seen more roofs in one place.
Whoa.
Now, granted, Roof North America's headquarters is at the Concours Club, so there's going to be more than like normal, and Curated's there, and there's a lot of local customers there. But there was probably like 30 roofs. Like, that's more than I've ever seen in one place.
And what was the build year for those? Like, were they mostly new?
Full spread. Okay. There was 1 true Yellowbird, meaning a narrow body. Then there was the one that I drove, which I will happily call a fucking Yellowbird, but it's an M491 wide body. So like, there's some like whiners, like fucking Timmy Pappas up there, wrong fenders. Now listen. If you want to talk shit in the comments about whether or not a Yellowbird has the right fenders, your best position of attack to make that argument is to own a narrow-fendered Yellowbird. And Timmy Pappas does. So that guy is allowed to talk shit, and almost nobody else is allowed to talk shit. Okay?
Wow. But what year was that made compared to the one you drove owned by...
the Bruce Myers car and Timmy Pappas's cars are 87s. They're the first year they did them. I think there's like 11 from that year. That's the narrow body car, super light. So this one, which is photos on my Instagram, and I made a little video of, the production value is very low. I was limited on time and I was by myself. But this is a 91. So it's the same mechanicals. But it's in an M491 wide body, which was the customer's request. He just wanted it to look different,
awesome.
Whatever.
I think it looks awesome.
And this is also, according to John Tamarian, the only Yellowbird ever made with a sunroof.
Interesting.
This one does have a sunroof. So I've driven 3 of these now. This one was the softest. You know what I mean? Of them.
Okay.
Like it was just set up more for like maybe like road driving a little more. That doesn't mean it wasn't fucking sick. And also the 87s that I drove have had this weird, funky dog leg. It's a 6-speed. But instead of just being 3 vertical lines and 1 horizontal one, it's a dog leg first, right? Imagine like a 5-speed dog leg gearbox, like a Ferrari, an 80s Ferrari or an 80s Lamborghini use, but then with a 6th gear added upright.
Got it. So it's...
right?
Yeah.
So it's a dog leg first, and then it feels almost like a traditional 5 pattern.
Was that because after the war, the pattern, they wanted to get away from the HH? So they added these 2 little end pieces? That is very...
No, it's
weird.
It's essentially because RUF had modified a Porsche gearbox, and that was just like what they could do.
Right.
By the time we got to this car, which is a 91, it's a 6-speed, but it's a regular 6-speed. So actually, what a fucking delight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing, like, I like a quirk, and if the quirk of having this weird shift pattern meant I get to drive a Yellowbird, yep, that's okay, no problem. But to drive one on track, like, quickly, having weird gear patterns is, let's just say, less optimal than having regular ones.
Well, because you're used to traditional H pattern.
Yeah.
So I think... Because a lot of people make the argument that the dog leg first is better for racing because you just get out of the pits in first, and then it's just 2 to 3, 3 to 4. But I think if you're used to the 2 to 3 being a diagonal, 3 to 4 being used more often, it can just trip you up.
If you are driving one race car for a whole season and looking for the best time possible, then yes, a dog leg first, so you're not in that and it's just back, forth, is the best. If you're testing a car for 15 minutes, the best pattern is the fucking devil you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Folks, got to take a quick break because support is coming in hot from DeleteMe. You know everything about DeleteMe now because I've been talking about DeleteMe for like at least a year. It's easier than ever to get people's personal information online. You can buy people's personal information online, and people will sell you people's personal information online. You know what? I think that stinks. I think my active online presence means that privacy should be very important to me, right? And I know people who have gotten scammed or been victims of identity theft. For me, fortunately, the worst thing that's happened is lots of scammy text messages and emails and all kinds of stuff, phone calls. You guys hate all that stuff, right? The harassment, all the scammy text, that stinks. You can take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe at a special discount for our listeners. All you got to do is sign up for DeleteMe. Tell them the information that they want, that you want deleted, and they go through and they get going. And it's not a one-time service. It's an ongoing system that finds your information on data brokers' websites and essentially files takedown and delete notices on your behalf. That first time, they're going to find a lot. But the second, the third, the fourth round, and on and on and on, it's less and less and less every time. It's nice. I like it a lot. I'm still going with that DeleteMe. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe. Now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/tire and use promo code TIRE at checkout. That's the only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/tire and enter code TIRE at checkout. One more time, joindeleteme.com/tire, code TIRE. Also sponsored to you today by Truewerk. Loving those Truewerk pants. I took them on my last trip. They are perfect for freezing mornings, wet conditions, and wind that cuts right through cheap gear. I wore them for quail hunting. That's exactly what you would use them for. You can also wear them to work because you need workwear that performs when it's brutal out there. And Truewerk is building performance workwear like it matters because it does. Founded by a trade professional who is done with soaking wet, heavy gear slowing him down, Truewerk set out to make workwear that keeps pros comfortable, capable, and ready for whatever the day throws at them. While certain other brands focus on cotton-based gear that gets heavy when wet, Truewerk uses advanced performance fabrics developed for extreme outdoor conditions, now engineered specifically for trade work. It's moisture-wicking, wind-resistant, and insulated, keeping you comfortable and mobile all day. Every piece is tested on real job sites with trade pros before it ever goes to market. And when winter hits hard, you're still ready to work, not fighting your gear. So don't let cheap gear slow you down this winter. Upgrade your day with workwear built like it matters. Get 15% off your first order at Truewerk.com, code TIRE. That's TRUEWERK.com, code TIRE. And now, back to the show. But I also drove this to the track from Curated. What a fucking...
This is a gorgeous car.
What a street car. I mean, what a nice street car. Because for all the exceptional performance that you get out of one of these things, and like this thing is fast. Like this is a fast car. The build sheet says 469 horsepower. I bet that's at the wheels. This car flies, and it's got good brakes, and it like turns in nice. Like it's just so good. Like it's just so good. I mean, it's a 40-year-old car. I pull it out of the showroom. I ran 10, 12 laps around the track. Not pushing it, but not slow. The car was like, whoop-de-fucking-do, no problem. 40-year-old car, everything's all right.
Is this basically the old version of the one we drove there last year, which was the SCR?
We drove the CTR Anniversary.
Right.
And actually, John had brought out a CTR Anniversary also, and I was going to get to back them, but he took a few laps in it, and while nothing went wrong, there was a smell, a vapor smell of some kind that was... It just made him not feel so good about putting it back out on the track. Was all. Sure. That was like he was about to sell it, and it might be he didn't want there to be a problem. So fair. Yeah. He let me drive this fucking thing all day. This was your car for the day.
That's wild.
Like that's amazing.
He's the nicest dude.
This was awesome. I did their podcast too. You can, I don't know when it goes up, but wherever you get podcasts.
You went to Miami and you cheated on me.
I cheated on him. Yeah, but it's because the Yellowbird, narrow body, whatever, the engine, the CTR engine, it's a 3.4 liter twin turbo. Porsche's turbo was a single. The 959 was a sequential.
Yeah.
Porsche didn't even offer a twin setup until the 993. So this is effectively the same kind of vibe as putting a 993 turbo X51 engine into a G-body car. Like that's basically what you're doing here. And then you're reducing weight, and then you're adding rigidity, and then you're shaving the rain gutters, and then you're doing all that other roofy stuff that they do. But it's like, because it's twins, it pulls much more evenly and from a much lower RPM. It's not that zingy, which like, as a quirk, as a vibe, a 930 zingy setup can be fun. But when you're like on a track trying to like actually go fast, a broad power band with like torque.
Well, this track especially has a lot of U-turns almost.
Tight.
Like a lot of really tight stuff that leads to a long straight, and then it's really tight stuff. So having that laggy, 5,000 RPM before the power band kicks is not optimal.
Yeah, like at the Concours Club, there's like 3 hairpins where you're coming out of the corner from like 3,000 RPM in second gear.
Yeah.
You want that torque shove right then. You don't want power to not happen until 5, and you don't want to be going down to first. Going to first stinks.
Yeah, I always feel weird about it. And I know there's cars that have transmissions that are meant for it, and they can handle it. And Marco's car, the brown one, he was like, it's built. You can do that. But it just feels so strange.
Stinks. I hate it. So anyway, there is a video. The car sounds unbelievable. It's.
I think this is perfect looking, and
we did a little.
Tim Pappas has like the narrow one, and that was the first one. I credit where it's due, but I think aesthetically, this is better. And this is like Singer. When they redesigned their cars, they widened everything a bit. Everyone seems to like it.
I mean, look. If you already own a narrow Yellowbird, then you can talk shit about whether or not this is or is not a Yellowbird. But this is a fucking roof CTR from the period. They made like 40 total. This one happens to have wide fenders, so the top speed will be probably a little lower. It's going to be a little heavier because it doesn't have that different thing. But like,
I think they're the same.
I think we're really splitting hairs.
I feel like this is the same as someone has an SLS someone gets an SLS Roadster, and the first person goes, "It's not a real SLS," like because I ticked an option box because it's the same car, just different body, like different.
Yeah,
like
it is a little heavier, and the wider body would mean that your top speed is probably a little lower,
which is the same for convertibles,
which is the same for other things. Yeah, and whatever that sunroof weighs, which is probably something, okay, it's not the absolute, but I'll tell you something. I pulled out the fucking cigarette lighter, the little. Somebody, the first owner, was ripping grits in this thing.
Oh,
the first
owner.
You know?
Huh? How do you know?
Oh, you can
fill with cigarette ash.
You can tell if that one of those cigarette lighters, there's brand new, never used a couple of times, and then that's your cigarette lighter. Those are the 3 phases of that. And for at least 3 or 4 years, that was this guy's cigarette lighter.
Wow.
Yeah. The first owner of this thing was ripping grits in this thing. And so that tells me that this was probably some rich dude's daily for this thing has 80,000 kilometers on it.
Whoa.
This was probably some rich guy's fucking daily in Japan.
Get on the auto. Oh, it's from Japan originally?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Imagine
they like smoking.
Imagine fucking dude. Night
this is your dream.
Runs
you are
in
hard
Japan.
right now. I can
night
tell.
runs in Japan, ripping grits in a fucking Yellowbird.
I can feel how much you miss cigarettes right now, and that's half this equation. That's why I'm
got
laughing
in this
so
car.
hard.
I was like, I'd like a cigarette.
You're like, imagine how great it would be. And to drive it, you're like, just smoke cigarettes.
Cigarettes in it at 100 miles an hour down the freeway at night in Japan.
Yeah, that is an iconic moment.
That's what's up. That's what cars are about, dude.
Before they had the weird electronic limiters on all the highways there.
Yeah. That's what it's.
You and Smokey Nagata.
So nice. But they also, I also go back to that other photo, that silver car. I drove that other thing. I drove this race car, a Cayman, 08 Cayman race car. Believe it or not, that's a vintage race car now. 08's a vintage.
17 years, right?
I drove in this vintage race with a bunch of 993 cups and 964 cups, and they put me in this, and I was like, well, okay. Finished P3.
Yeah.
Not terrible. Finished P3.
Or P4 behind.
No. So I thought it was P4, but it turns out someone that I thought was way ahead of me broke and didn't finish. So it really was P3.
Sick.
But the cars in the race were very spread out. It was 12 cars, and they were pretty spread out in performance. There was a 69 911, a fucking an IROC, AJ Foyt's IROC one, and then a couple of super hot rodded 993 cups that had big bore motors in them.
So is that what you were chasing? Is 993 cups with built engines?
Yes,
okay.
That's what I was chasing, and members, people whose track this is. Yeah. And I was driving a car I never drove before, but no, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I was able to battle with those front couple of cars for about a lap and a half, and then they pulled away and I just couldn't catch them anymore. And so for it was a half-hour race, but I'd say for 25 minutes of it, I was mostly lapping by myself.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I lapped 7 or 8 of the slower cars, and so there were some passes to make, but if I'm lapping people in a half-hour race, that's not fast. So
sure.
Getting around them wasn't difficult or really a fight.
Yeah.
So I'm not. It was a fun time. Having said that, I did 2 hours 40 minutes in Texas straight. I did 30 minutes in Miami. I was so much sweatier and more tired after 30 minutes than after doing.
Now, is that because of the climate there? Yeah,
humidity.
It's still humid and gross. Yeah.
Oh, it was fucked up. It was tough.
Really
tough.
This track is tight. I feel like Cody gets some rest in a couple places.
So you have that too. Yeah. The car I was racing was automatic. I mean paddles, but my left foot didn't have to do much. I was left foot braking, but this track. 1.5 miles. It's 13 corners, I think, and it's second, third, second, third, second, third, second, third, second, third, fourth, third, second, third. It's not, a bunch of shifts.
I'm going to say it's like a karting track. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but in terms of how dense it is with activity. Mm-hmm. You are turning and braking, and there's the clover thing, and you're popping out, and then you're on the straightaway, but the straightaway is only as long as the pits, the front straightaway.
The straightaway, you have
seconds.
Just enough time to get to the top. You go from second to the top of fourth and then have to go right back to second
and it's
again.
A U-turn.
And it's a U-turn.
Straight, and then
it's the fourth again, and back to second again. And so in a stick shift car, you're doing a lot more work, a lot more work than you are at Coda. Even Coda, or a big track like that, it's going to be like third and fourth gear most of the time. It's not second, third, fourth, third, second, third, second, third, fourth, third, second, third, second, third, second, third, third, fourth. Yeah, it was a lot of work. My fucking ass is so sore even today from that. Just from all the left footwork. Left footwork. Yeah. It was fun though. And then flip over. I drove this ROCS, ROCS, ROCS design. Folks, one more break because support is coming in this week from AG1. You know about AG1. You heard about them before. But there's no right time for better health. There's just today and now. And AG1 is the easiest and most impactful habit you could implement this year. Why? Because sustainable health is all about consistency, not perfection. You can simplify your nutrition with AG1. Multivitamin, pre- and probiotic, superfoods, antioxidants, all in one scoop. Because AG1 is the opposite of complexity. 20 seconds it takes. Just one scoop, 8 ounces of water, shake, 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 done. Drink it first thing before coffee, before checking your phone. It will become a micro habit that anchors everything else. I have literally, Zach, never heard the term micro habit before, but I'm going to use that in every single sentence I say from now on. And the new next-gen formula for AG1, it's got more vitamins and minerals than ever, clinically proven to fill common nutrient gaps. Here's the thing about the AG1. I've been drinking it for the last week, brought it with me. I thought, because I'm having long days in Miami, I would want it, but I'd never liked the flavor before. But now it comes in that original flavor, but also citrus, berry, and tropical. I am down with the tropical. I really am. AG1 has over 50,000 verified 5-star reviews and comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Go to drinkag1.com/tire to get their best offer. For a limited time only, get a free AG1 duffel bag and a free AG1 welcome kit with your first subscription order while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/tire. drinkag1.com/tire. And last but certainly not least, despite the name, support is coming in from Smalls. Smalls is here for my kitten family. I was just gone for a whole week, and man, did I miss my cats, especially my cats. Can you say you miss your cats more than your wife when you travel? I'm not supposed to, but I do. And I've recently changed their diet because Cricket, my 4-year-old girl, it turns out is morbidly obese. We were feeding her too much dry food. Got to stop doing that. So we went straight to the full wet food formula, 2 meals a day with wet food. Smalls is it. They have these unbelievable protein-packed, preservative-free. It's in the canned food, right? My cats love this stuff. They love the wet canned cat food. They just rip through it. It's like they're like a wolf pack or something, like a pack of tigers. They put together the sampler for the cats. I don't have to choose randomly. The cats chose their favorites. I get more. And now Cricket is losing weight. 88% of cat owners also report overall health improvements. I haven't weighed Cricket yet, but she does look a little more svelte. And the team at Smalls is so confident your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free. That means they'll refund you if your cat won't eat their food. My cats eat their food, so I get no refunds. Make 2026 your cat's healthiest year yet. Take advantage of their New Year's special and get 60% off your first order, plus free shipping when you head over to smalls.com/tire. One last time, that's 60% off your first order, plus free shipping at smalls.com/tire. And now, back to the show. This is like... It's sort of you could call it like a Magnus-style build. It has no paint on it. It's a raw steel body. It's got Lexan rear windows. It's an old-school race car-y kind of vibe.
It has that vibe.
Yeah, this is like your typical period-built track rat type 911.
Looks cool.
It did look cool. It looked cool and had a great shifter, very notchy and tight.
So is this meatball shadow on the door, like a real sticker they peeled off a long time ago?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. The exterior is real scruffy. There's a couple little bits of like rust here and there. Like it's meant to be super scruffy. And the interior is super scruffy too. So here's the thing. If I didn't just get out of a Yellowbird and get into that, I'd have been all about that. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful vintage hot rod 911 experience. It's fucking loud. There's no sound insulation. You know, it's got that race car mirror that goes across the entire top of the windshield. The steering is very sharp, and it's got all these old school bucket seats like they would have driven in the 70s. Where I'm just going, God, if I have a crash in this, I am dead as a fucking doornail.
Yeah.
That's it from the other side, yeah. But it's a great vibe. I mean, it would be a great car to rip around LA in for sure. But after the Yellowbird, I mean, just this is a lovely car, and the guy who built it was really nice, and it didn't have any like terrible vices. It turned nice, it stopped pretty good, like it was fine. It was a cool, sorted old 911. Ain't a fucking Yellowbird though. You know what I mean? Like you the difference between something like this and
what year was this car, by the way?
I have
it's got to be
no idea. 70, 69,
yeah, exactly.
70,
late
something
60s.
like that. It's late 60s, early 70s.
So that's, a 20-year difference just in the body, in the unibody construction, and then plus you add like roof being roof.
Well, and you have
the
300 horsepower, probably.
Turbo refinement. Yeah, I mean, just all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have very different intentions.
Yeah.
This feels like something Thaddeus would like. Just
no, for someone who wants
shit.
old school, raw, rough. I mean, Magnus would love it, and Jethro was there as well, and he had a go at it, and he thought it was great fun too. It was really cool. It was nice to get to try it. Like I like the no paint. I think that's a cool aesthetic. It certainly ran well and sounded cool. And it was carbureted, so it did that little spittly thing that happens when you come off the throttle that only the carbs do, where it sort of like almost like pops back out the carb a little bit. You know what I mean?
Cool. Was it fast?
Quick. I mean, look,
for what it
again,
was.
fast. I just got out of a Yellowbird, so like. Not fast. No, Yellowbird is fast. This is not fast. But it was lovely. I mean, look, in today's world, fast doesn't matter that much. Fun beats fast.
Sure.
So it was certainly enough horsepower to have a good time in, though it was not fast enough for me to be happy with it as my track car. But if you were racing a bunch of other cars that looked and sounded like it, that would be a good time.
That would be a
good
very
time.
fun day.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, for sure. But I fucking for 6 days a year, Miami's the best place on earth. You hit the weather right. You hit it's just the restaurants are vibing, and people in Miami have a sort of optimism about. Despite reality, you know what I mean? They're having a good time. Everything else is burning. There's like no laws there. They don't pay fucking taxes, but they're about it. Like, whatever else is happening in the rest of the world, like, Miami's fun.
Yeah, it does have a fun vibe to it.
It does.
For sure.
6 days a year, I'm 100% about it. But outside of this club, there ain't a fucking set of corners for 600 miles.
I know.
I mean, seriously, like, how do you love cars and live in that town if you can't afford a membership to this place? And frankly, even if you can, and they do as good a job as can be done. The community, the track, the amenities, the staff. This is as first rate as fucking first rate gets. I'd be tired of the same racetrack if that was all I had. You know what I mean? If I didn't have the racetrack and canyons and some other racetracks once in a while, if this was where I could go to drive, and in Miami, that's it, it wouldn't satisfy me. So I couldn't live in Miami.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there's two things there. Like if you were forced to live there, you might find ways to keep the track fun. You just get really into the racing, really into shaving times. And you
they do
really
that. They've got this club series, the Spec M2s. They're all racing. Apparently, is a very good series. And the club does stuff. They do activations at the F1 track and stuff like that. Oh, I forgot the F1 track. There is a way to join some kind of a club that gets you 30 or 40 days a year at the F1 track also. So, and there may be some type of reciprocal with Concours Club.
I mean, that's pretty rad.
So I don't want to say that this is the only place to turn corners in Miami. The F1 track is the other place.
Well, also you have to be a certain economic bracket to experience either of these. So if you're a car fan in Miami who's not in that bracket, I think it highlights, though, that people can find a lot of ways to like cars. Like when I was reading magazines as a kid and reading this car goes this fast or it handles better, than this thing. If you had handed me that car there, in Santa Cruz, I wouldn't have gone, oh, I can't go to any of these racetracks. Like even if you just drive around for a while, I think it's so exciting because you're so excited about the car.
That's true. They're just like, there isn't anywhere to go. I mean, imagine L.A., but without the mountains.
No, I get it. I think because we live here, we've become not like spoiled, but also this is the kind of driving we like. That's why we live here in part. So for us to think of moving somewhere that doesn't have that would be, crippling.
Well, yeah, no, it is. But it's too bad because I meet really nice people there and like the food is great. The hospitality is great. The vibe of it's great. I like South Florida architecture. I think it's an interesting mix of like Art Deco, mid-mod, Southern.
Way more colorful, like the architecture.
Colorful.
Yeah.
People don't give a fuck. Here, like here, it's like even in LA, it's like a little douchey to be like too flash. Like there is no such thing down there as too flash, and it's like kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a fun time as long as it's the right time of year.
How far is the firm from Miami?
That's in Gainesville. Those are extreme ends of Florida. It's far.
Homestead.
Really far.
Oh, that's the NASCAR track.
It's really far. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There might be something to do at Homestead. Do they have an infield road course?
There's Miami Exotic Auto Racing. Like I think there's probably some more things. You got to find one of those tracks we stumble upon. They're like out in the woods. You know,
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a track in the middle of the woods somewhere. I think like Jake Paul just bought some huge piece of land in Georgia.
I heard the best description for him, which was Hawk Tua for dudes.
Yeah, that's about right.
Perfect. Yeah, they both scam people with crypto.
Yeah. Wait. So I got a shrinkflation. This one's hilarious because it's my checks. Like I ordered new checks for West Side, and it's the big binder of business checks. It's the sheet that's got 3, and then the ledger, and you tear them off, right? And I just clicked to reorder. Just reorder the same product I have. And this is my 3rd time in 5-6 years reordering. Okay, the checks come, they are notably thinner. The paper is thinner, and I can't use my fountain pens on them anymore because it bleeds through. Wow. They made my fucking checks, and they're more expensive. They made them thinner and more expensive. Thanks, Deluxe.com.
That sucks.
They shrinkflated the thing I use to pay bills with. Isn't that crazy? Dude, I read a story this morning that's made. I mean, a story on Axios this morning, saying that there should be a new class of people. Like, you've heard of the haves and the have-nots.
Sure.
Well, now there's the haves, the have-nots, and the have-lots. And there's a whole thing about the have-nots is basically like the 50% of this country that are like priced out of everything. The don't have $1,000 for an emergency, home ownership. So that's the have-nots. The haves are like people that probably would have been considered rich like 10 or 15 years ago, that are like stable, fine. They own their own homes. They have some money for some retirement. Just what today's version of middle class people is that probably would have been upper middle class 10 years ago. And then you have the have-lots, which is the 0.001% that's like riding the fucking AI/Trump boom, that it's like the list of people that it's like, they list off 12 people that made like over,
there were 19 families last year made like $500 billion or something. And you're like, so, what?
So anyway, that's a new class of people that are outside governments. I mean, they when you have enough resources, you don't need to be loyal to a city, a state, a country, laws, like anything. Like nothing. And so anyway, yes.
I think that's good to have a new descriptor, definition. Yeah, that makes sense. Language evolves, and there's a huge difference. So yeah,
I mean, and like it's an incredible like privilege to be able to like own a house and not have to think about the price of groceries too often. Like that's an incredible privilege. But like, there is this new class of people where it's like beyond the rule of law, where it's like post power. Like where you just have the power, the access, and the influence to make markets. To you can insider trade. You can have access to what the government's going to do before they do it. Like you've bought your way into a club that just enshrines your power outside of.
Yeah, you stop buying things and you've purchased access and power.
You purchase systems.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's going really well. Really well.
Would you say this is about 1930 is where we're at?
Yeah, 28, something
28
like that.
to 30 is probably, we're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry, guys, it'll happen. Let's talk about affordability for a second. We've got this Alfa Romeo Spider on Bring a Trailer. Affordable sports cars. There's 2 days left in this. By the time you guys listen to this on Tuesday, there's a photo of it on my Instagram, top photo. You can just, this little red Alfa Spider. We sold it last month, and then after the guy clicked bid, he got like a terminal health diagnosis.
Oh shit!
And couldn't. Yeah. So very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And so we're running it again. No fault of the car. So this is going to be like low 5 figures, guys. Mint. Super well-loved Alfa Spider. Get in the Italian car game.
Just tag Tom Holland. Just tag him a bunch.
Is he about that?
Well, he already has an old... he's got an old one, but he needs more. Yeah.
It's a lovely... front engine, rear, 2-liter, 4-cam, 5-speed, limited slip diff, convertible, nice leather. The cigarette lighter has not been... ripped 1,000 grits in.
It's a 95 Alfa Spider.
91.
91?
Oh, no, it's been owned since 1995.
Okay.
The little old lady that owned this has owned it since 1995.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just want to see the interior in different angles real quick.
Oh, yeah. You spell it with a Y. That's why. It's with an I.
If Italy could just get some consistency on how
Well, that's Lamborghini does it with a...
Are they
Ferrari,
the only one?
Lamborghini and Porsche do it with a Y, and Alfa and Ferrari do it with, there it is in the middle. Photos by Thaddeus. This is one of the ones that's got the, like the shifters up on the dashboard. Ever see that? You seen the interior one of these?
What a friendly little vehicle.
So look where the shifter comes out of. Isn't that great? They're fun to shift. It's a totally different thing.
Pull down.
Yeah.
Press down.
Yeah.
Lift up.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's funky.
It's like you're operating a drawbridge.
Dude, it's if you want like a different and unique driving experience,
true.
like really, really cool little car.
And if you want to drive around a car that doesn't make it look like you're an insecure idiot, this is the car for that.
And what you really want to do is get rid of that airbag steering wheel. This is a 91 Gen 1 airbags. You probably don't even want that in your car. Like, you're probably more likely to get hurt by that airbag than have it save your life. Just get rid of that steering wheel, little wood nardy.
Yeah.
And then now no one knows what year this thing it is. now
True.
It could be a 73 or a... But it's...
Ooh, I like the seats.
Dude, does this look like a 133,000-mile car? This is mint.
Pretty good.
It looks like it's got like a third of the miles it actually has.
Yeah.
It's been really, really well loved, this car.
I like the gauge binnacle.
Gauge binnacle's cool. All the controls are really cool. It's just... if you're really going to drive it, it needs a new set of tires. The tires are old, but it is absolutely lovely. So go check it out on Bring a Trailer and get in the game. Cheap Italian sports cars, people. What else did I have that I wanted to talk about? It's pretty much. I mean, we could talk about the Aston Martin DBXS, but that seems like something that we should maybe save for next show.
I think so. We're at 35.
Yeah, we can.
Because that'll be 20 minutes.
What did you do while I was gone? Anything
I went
car
to
related?
Good Vibes with David Tuig and his
really?
wonderful
How's
friends.
David?
We had a great time. Him and his buddy Zoil, they rented a red V6 Mustang from Vegas, and they drove it here. They were at CES.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I
was going to say, why would they rent such a shit one-way rentals is why.
And also CES, I think a lot of people that had more money than them rented cars first. Like, it's like the biggest trade show, second to SEMA. Yeah. So they rented that thing, which was very funny to watch engineers go, like, it shifts so slowly. Like,
For those who don't know who David is, he was the, I forget the title, but he basically ran program manager, program director. He basically ran the entire Alpine A110 program.
And before that, he ran the Nissan Qashqai program. We called it the Rogue.
Yeah.
One of their most successful crossovers.
Our audience really cares about that.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
he
worked for huge companies.
He's
ran projects for 3 huge companies, and then he wrote an amazing book you should read called Inside the Machine. Super nice guy and engineer. So we hung out and went up to Good Vibes. It was frigid, sir.
Was there snow?
There was ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the shady part of the road?
There was ice in the shady part right when you approach Newcomb's, which that was a really funny thing. So on the way up, road's dry. I'm watching the temps, though. Like, it's chilly.
Did you go up Big Tahunga, or did you go up Angeles Crest the whole way?
Our normal way, Upper Big.
Oh, and it was open?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
There was no snow, like, visible. There was one corner where I couldn't tell if it was ice or water coming across, and then as I went over it, I felt the whole car, like, drift. I went, that's ice. And it was a very short moment. I knew I'd be okay. So after that, we all slowed down.
In the winter, local little inside baseball, in the winter, there is a section of road that never sees sun.
That part was dry.
Oh.
Shocking. 100% shocked.
Really?
I was expecting to go 2 miles per hour with my tires. That was clear. I think they'd plowed it. Maybe sun had hit it at some point. There was ice right when you get to Newcomb's, and it was probably a 50-foot, maybe 100-foot section of ice and slush. We all and everybody who showed up slows down, except for one guy in a E34 M5, I think, who kind of came in at like 25, and all of a sudden kicks left and slides into the oncoming. No one was there, but we're like, and then he just pulled in the parking lot and didn't say anything. And all
he said
to
himself, nobody saw that.
Yeah, and some of the folks that were there were looking up the hill to make sure no cars were coming, safety priority there. But that guy probably learned that you need momentum, but you don't need that much momentum. Very light showing at Good Vibes. It was like 38 degrees.
Well, yeah.
Also, first week back at work, I think like 20 cars showed up. It was really strange.
Well, yeah, cold, and it had been raining all week. So the reason I asked is about not what you were doing, but which route you took, because right after the rains, when I had to go film, Big Tahunga was closed, and I didn't know why. I was hoping because it was not damaged or in any way.
I saw no signs of road work or anything, so I'm not
maybe
really sure.
It was just preventative. Maybe it was just closed in case something happened. They didn't want people going up there.
There were sections, I think more on Angeles Crest, where there was like evidence of mud that had gone across that they plowed away, or big rocks and stuff that they'd cleared. But there were just a couple wild cards up here that I wanted to show you.
Miata Safari.
I think stock engine, just lifted, huge tires. I mean, this thing looks like it's on, 32-inch tires.
And it looks like it's got longer control arms, too. They look like they're outside the body of the car.
They are a little bit. I looked underneath, and I saw suspension. I couldn't find the person that built it. But the back says, like, what was it called? It was called, like, Rough Rides Fabrication or something. Something that's kind of like we do shitty work, but more of a joke. But this thing just looked like a good time. How come
it does look like a good time?
Wait, let me go. There we go.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah. And
no front bumper, no lower rear bumper.
It was so tall. I did a profile shot. I don't think I put it up, but it was next to a Ferrari 355, which had the nose was below the bumper of this thing. You could drive this over, a Corvette.
That's sweet.
Just a good time that someone probably had with a car they got for like $12.
Yeah. I bet that's great fun.
Yeah, Z06. Sorry, so pretty tall. And then the only other car I wanted to show you was this Lotus.
Oh, I've seen this car before. There's a black Exige with like white wheels, like JDM style, like track day wheels.
Looks fantastic. It has good ground clearance. What a genius. But it's got a turbo K24 swap.
Oh, I bet it rips.
And the guy that owns this thing, I think he's like 20, if you're listening. You look 20, you probably are. He bought it from a guy he knows who's like a racing engineer. So this dude drives it around right now with 270 wheel horsepower. He says it's the lowest power setting possible before the thing just stumbles. And I was like, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
You can live with this car for the rest of your life, and you can probably never outdrive it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you can grow with this.
Because the fastest these cars ever got from the factory were 260 crank horsepower. If you're making 270 at the wheels, that's significantly more.
He said the engine and the setup, I mean, look at this external wastegate shit. Like, it looks so rad. It sounds amazing. He said the engine's good for like 600 to 800 horsepower, but the transmission will explode.
It will. Because it's
so
the stock
crazy.
Gearbox, right?
Yeah.
Or is it the Honda gearbox or the
He said it's stock
Lotus
gearbox,
one? Yeah.
and if it grenades, he can put something else in there. But
Sure.
for now, he's just driving around like this. But it looked like a DIY Hennessy Venom. It sounded amazing. It's got this crazy lower splitter. I mean, it was just total race car, and to drive it up on the day where there's like ice and snow on the road, just the bravery.
Aggressive.
Yeah, it was rad. But other than that,
I
it was
love
like
someone else in an Exige.
Yeah. I looked at it and went, man, this seems like a great idea, and also very uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But fuck it, if you fit, God bless you.
Yeah.
Sounds
but
like
we had a good time. It was a great drive, good hang. But that's pretty much all.
Have you changed the settings in your car since your track day?
No.
Okay.
I have not.
Okay.
I want to change the springs. I haven't done that either. Yeah.
I need to drive my car this weekend. My Spider, I haven't driven in, I think, a month. It's not great. I need to drive it.
Dan McInnes was there, and also one of David's friends has the gray Spider. Remember Chris?
The gray Spider. I know.
They both have the. He got the gears
Spider.
done. So
yes,
they both have
I know that
short
guy.
second through fifth.
Yeah, I know that.
Seems like
the chalk one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I see that guy a lot.
That's just. I think that's the move for so many people. Shorter gearing.
It's expensive,
I know.
but it's not as expensive as adding horsepower, and it has a better return, and it reduces stress off your engine.
Yeah. And you keep the tall six gears. So you keep your highway miles per gallon, which you wouldn't if you added horsepower.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
My engine is only like 2 miles per gallon less than stock. And even with that, I met a guy in Miami with a demand motor in his car. I also ran into, shout out to Diego, who bought my Safari car. Ran into him down in Miami. He and his wife, I think she's his wife. She's very lovely. They're having a great time. They're going on all these events. They're putting all these miles on the car. They're enjoying that car for what it should be enjoyed for.
Was your car at?
No, there was another one. It wasn't there. It was not there. There was a yellow Keen Safari there. Yeah.
God, they're so rad.
They are.
They're so good.
They're awesome.
All right, we can go to the.
Let's go to the
peoples.
Patreon really kept us going. The wire from Patreon came through this morning. It was a good month over there on the Patreon. So thank you guys for keeping it going. Welcome to all the new people for 26. If you're new to us, and the way it works is if you sign up for us at the Patreon, which is patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast, you can watch the live stream. You can ask us questions for the live stream. You can get the show before anybody else the same day it's recorded, rather than waiting Tuesday or Thursday. You can get extra show because there's a show at the Pro Driver tier that's just a 9th show every month just for them. You can get the show without ads, and you can get access to exclusive collabs and stuff that we do with brands before anybody else, such as the next generation of Lotus watches. Yeah. Our Aaron down at Concours Club asked me to reserve him one of the pinks. He will be taking one of the pinks. Saw 2 Canyons down there in Miami.
Nice.
Big watch spotting.
Yeah.
Fucking heavies down there in Miami. I saw lots of Richard Mille, lots of Pateks, lots of gold APs. There was a guy sitting in fucking coach coming back from Miami wearing a gold Fume dial AP Royal Oak Chrono. If it was real, it was about $250,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he spends his money on what he enjoys.
Not flying first class. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the people. PTS Angela White says, the car version of Fuck, Marry, Kill is Turo Finance Crush. That's cute, but I'm just going to keep it Fuck, Marry, Kill, so we're not plugging Turo. We don't need to turn into an ad for Turo. All right, Gazoo Racing, Fuck, Marry, Kill. 86 Corolla Supra.
I would marry the GR86. I would fuck the Supra, and I would kill the Corolla.
Marry the Corolla, fuck the 86, and kill the Supra. Yeah. The Corolla would be the one that I'd want to have as my car for a while. The 86, I would like to beat the shit out of as hard as possible for like a day and then just go like, thank you, see you later. And the Supra is fun, but doesn't interest me all that much.
I like the super straight line speed. I would just enjoy that for like a minute. But then the GR86, I just love interacting with that in every way as much as possible.
Okay. Big Ben says, mechanical watch question. I don't wear my watch daily, and when I take my Breitling Navitimer out of the box to wear it, I just put it on and walk around for a few minutes, and the motion of my wrist gets the movement going, and then I just set the time and continue about my day. My question is Am I doing it wrong? Is winding the watch manually before putting it on necessary, or is this considered accepted practice? So I don't want to tell you that you're doing it wrong, because if the way you're doing it works, then it's not wrong, and it's certainly not causing any damage. But if you don't manually wind that thing up, just the natural motion of your wrist, you are never going to get fully wind that barrel. The motion of your wrist is really designed to maintain, not to increase the level of windedness of your watch. And so I would say that the way you should be doing it to get the most accuracy and the most power reserve out of that watch is probably going to be to wind it manually. Set the time, wind it manually, and then go about your day. You don't have to spend that long doing it. It's 20, 30 spins will do it, and then you'll do it. It'll work. But I don't think you're getting a good wind that way. I don't think your watch will be either as accurate or have as long a power reserve as it could otherwise have. Listen and sometimes watch says, I love my EV as a daily, but miss having something with character even when driving around the city doing errands. If I had room for only 2 cars plus Hannah's daily, would one of them still be an EV? Well, our one EV now is Hannah's daily.
So let's delete that part of the line and let's give you 2 cars.
If I had 2 cars, one would absolutely be an electric car. Yes. In my life. My life is full of other cars. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Why would I not have an EV? For here, it's just so much better. Mm-hmm. It's just so much better. And I'm about to go on a EV road trip next week, the new Lucid Gravity. And I have to go to places that do not have a ton of... I have to drive across the desert. I'm doing a big lap of the fucking desert to scout the Desert Run 600 road and track event. It's coming up in April. It's about 60% sold out right now. You can come drive with me. We got track time. We got great hotels. It's going to be super fun. Super fucking fun. But I got to scout it. So I'm doing the Gravity, and the Gravity can use Tesla superchargers now. So it'll be my first time using superchargers. But I think we are, obviously new cars are expensive, and EVs, if your goal is to save money by not buying gas, it may not work out for you. But I love the times when I have to sit in traffic or light to light or whatever. I'd so much rather be in a fucking electric car. So much rather. I get so much more relaxed and everything, Mm. Would you?
Yeah.
If you were gonna have 2 cars, would you have an EV and a sports car?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the quiet, the lack of vibration. Truly. I mean, I now notice the difference when I get out of my car and get into any press car we have with a V engine. The difference in vibration is totally noticeable, and then the difference from my car to EV is so nice, and the instant torque. Just not worrying about the maintenance side of it, all those things. Totally.
Yeah. Send Preludes.
That's a great name.
I do World War II reenacting, Allied side. Very
Who
important.
does the other side? Is that you draw straws?
MAGA folks, I guess.
Anyone who's excited about that is problematic.
I always wanted a Jeep for events and putting around town. What military vehicle of any era would you want to drive? I mean, a tank. A small tank, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
You can just drive, and there are small tanks. That's what's funny. There's ones that are the size of, I don't know, like a Hummer EV.
Yeah, like little tanks.
Yeah, versus the really big ones.
Me.
Willie's Jeeps are cool and friendly, and everyone likes them. They are just nightmares to drive over 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, they're trash.
And those troop transporter things, the ones like a 6-wheel, whatever it's called, that just feels too cumbersome.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, dude, tank, hovercraft. I think I'd like to do a hovercraft. Maybe that would be fun.
Did they use those in World War II? Well, I guess they have
not
them now.
World War II. He said military vehicle of any era.
Oh, that's true.
I met a guy who drives a hovercraft. Remember
we talked about that on the way back from San Diego.
Yeah.
You know, I still think the Hummer H1 is oddly fun. When I drove that one for Cars and Bids, shocked at how easy it was to drive.
It has its charms.
Yeah.
It has its charms. Most of them are shit piles, but it does have it. The drift Hummer I drove in Detroit, That thing was awesome.
Oh, wait. The amphibious vehicles. Those one, the V-hull that you can drive into the water, but they're all small. That's what I would do.
Those would be fun, yeah. Run GMC. That's pretty good.
Very good.
More fuck, marry, kill. Wagons. Second-gen CTS V manual. E39 M5 Touring. C6 Audi RS6 Avant twin turbo V10.
Oh, this is kind of a tough one.
I mean, the M5 Touring doesn't exist. That's not a real car.
Right. I think
BMW never made that.
Well, same with E46 M3 Touring. They listed up there.
Yeah. But I chose to ignore that.
Oh, well, except you'd love it. You don't think you'd like an M3 Touring wagon?
I probably would, but like, I don't know. I had an M3 and I didn't fall in love with it.
That's a good point.
I would marry the CTS V manual, fuck the E39 M5, and kill the RS6 Avant.
I would marry the CTS-V manual. I would fuck the RS6 twin-turbo V10. And then I would kill the BMW team because I've driven them enough.
Mm-hmm. William Ray wants to know if we've ever driven a TVR Tuscan. I have not. No. Downshift Family says, do you think YouTuber cars, such as your NSX, are generally less valuable in the market because their exploits have been on full display? I don't understand what that means.
No, I actually think it goes the opposite direction for cars like yours. I think it depends on what the YouTuber is using the car for and what has been documented. So in your case, you always buy a car, you document and talk about, I got maintenance done here, this was on time, I improved this, here's why. Like, you really lay out what you've changed and the justification, and what things you change or update or maintain are always like to the highest quality and for very good reason.
I actually kind of resent the question, or resent it being compared to my NSX. First off, what exploits have been on full display? Where is this video of me like beating up this car or doing something to it that would make it less valuable?
Right. I think that's also why the second part of their sentence, which I don't really want to read, like, is flawed, because if you had taken your NSX and turned it into a drift car or something,
no, if there's like
and then you try to put it back to stock to sell it, like, sure, then it's going to reduce the value because you've shown people that you don't give a shit about it.
But all I've done with this car is service it, add paint protection film, and then I put different wheels on it, which I took off before I sold it.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way, the guy who bought it bought the wheels. So I think every car I've ever sold has sold at top of market. I've never put a car at auction that fully tanked. So is there an example that this person has of a, quote, YouTuber car that did sell for less because of that? I don't watch other people's auctions.
I mean, we have friends that, like, you know, they'll buy a car new, dealership, they then modify it, track it a lot, and then they put it back to stock before they sell it. But they don't put it up for auction because people would comment about it, and then they usually sell it to like another dealership or something.
Yeah.
I think that's the example of someone kind of documenting their exploits and then trying to pass that down to somebody, but you don't really do that.
I mean, I could see it like, here's where I could see it, like, and it's not a one-to-one, but like Cletus,
sure,
where he does a car giveaway and he like rips the fucking car and he's doing burnouts and donuts. Like, if, like, let's just say that for some reason they don't do the giveaway after that, and instead he just puts the car on Cars and Bids. Sure, but like a giveaway car and selling a car at auction are like not the same thing at all.
Yeah, I think that's the better example.
I doubt anybody wouldn't enter the giveaway that Cletus is having because he did a burnout on Instagram in the car. You know what I mean?
But I think, like, you know, Vin and Nacho just gave away that M3. If he had built that car, because he put a lot of, you know, he had a lot of thought behind the parts, tested it, whatnot, but he did track it, he did slide it. Would that reduce the auction value compared to if Joe Schmo, who doesn't have a YouTube channel, built the car the same way? I still think the YouTube thing would actually help it, because you are presented with all the information of why someone made the changes they made, instead of it just being a forum post from a guy that you're supposed to trust. I think it can help.
Yeah. I think it reflects the character of the YouTuber.
Yeah.
If that person is known for taking care of their cars, then it can only help. If that person's known for being shady or beating on their cars or whatever, then it can hurt.
True.
Queers shifting gears. I hope I said that in the right accent.
I think you can say it in any accent.
do you say it in a redneck accent or do you say it in like a femme, like drag queen accent?
Oh, like an ally or well, I mean, people in the South can be allies. I don't know. This feels like
sounds better to say it as someone who looks like me with a Southern accent. Queers. You got to say it like that.
Sure.
See anything from CES coverage that was notable? I did not pay that much attention to CES. I find that CES really has a lot of stupid stuff in it.
David Tuig actually said we should go next year. He said it's probably pretty interesting, and there's a lot of stuff that we would be able to make content about, like talk about on the show.
Yeah.
And they were trying to sell it to us. Now,
I went a couple of years ago, and like the AI-ification of everything like doesn't make me want to go more. But I mean, you know, it's a thing to see. I guess if we could figure out a way to get something worthwhile out of it.
I mean, I guess this year the big thing were robot fights. So that's just terrifying.
I mean...
Or robots moving car parts to replace humans.
I mean, here's the thing about robot fights. What year did BattleBots come out?
Oh, 2002?
Yeah, so
like that?
I don't give a fuck anymore.
And
Thanks.
also...
Saw that when I was in high school.
Well, now the robots look like us. That's what's interesting about it, is it's the humanoid robots that are like boxing or doing, karate to each other, which I find actually very scary. Robot Wars, I was never like, someone's going to use that to, corral the populace into doing what they want. I was like, look at the thing spinning and hitting the thing that jumps.
Oh, if they're going to use robots to corral the populace, they're not going to look like humans.
Well, they have like
they're going to be drones, and
that's a good point.
Yeah,
it'll be both. Yeah,
yeah. Just wait till next year. We won't need CES for this.
Pretty much.
All you got to do is put Stephen Miller and Elon Musk in a room together, and you will have some white supremacist promises that will never, ever get met.
Great point. It'd be great if they use Tesla robots. Yeah, because they will never happen or they'll break.
Yeah. That's true. We need to assign Elon Musk to every Stephen Miller idea. That's how we're going to save this fucking country. Make sure Elon Musk is in charge of everything Stephen Miller thinks of, and then it'll just never happen.
This is like doubling down in a casino on blackjack, but you have two. That could go really wrong.
Right. Nobody cares about my G70. What's a car that terrified you? I've heard a lot of guys say the Gen 1 Viper wants to kill its driver, but I've never owned anything fast. The Gen 1 Viper does not want to kill its driver. The Gen 1 Viper actually has very straightforward and standard driving dynamics. It's front engine, rear drive. It has a lot of power for the time. Mm-hmm. But if you were to get in a Gen 1 Viper that has 2025 tires on it, it's not anything. It just has no traction control or stability control.
Do you think it just overwhelmed the tires of the time versus other cars that didn't, maybe?
Probably, yeah. And if you got in one of those now and tried to maybe push it as fast as it would go, it might be a bit of a challenge, and you might not know where the limit was. But at the time, it was really just a lot of power and not much, and no traction control, and the tires could not keep up with that. But if you put today tires on it, it'd be a fucking pussycat.
The car that terrified me that we drove was the Gildred Racing Red Mini.
Yeah.
What, 500-ish horsepower.
Rear engine.
Yeah. Strange dynamics. That was pretty scary and great, but man, like you and I have never been so alert.
Yeah, that was a lot. I mean, when you put the engine from one side of the car to the other, and then double the horsepower, you really have some crazy shit going on. But like, terrified. I don't know if I've ever been terrified by any production car. I mean, there just isn't a production car in my lifetime career that's been that unsorted that I was literally scared of it.
Yeah, I think you have to go to the aftermarket.
You have to go to people's personal builds and shit, where people like will put all this power in a car and then just like have stock suspension and brakes just because they're like morons. Like that's the kind of stuff that's really scary, not what a manufacturer in general has some kind of responsibility to its customers to not sell them like full-on garbage. Although I have to say, just to circle around, because I was in Miami with the people I was with, I was with car people all at the track and shit, but I also spent the night with my friend Jeff from college and his buddies that are not car people at all. They're in real estate. And they all drive fucking Teslas. And I told them not to. And Jeff, my friend Jeff, is a horrible driver. like is actually a bad driver. And he was telling me that he uses FSD all the time, and I was like, look, you really shouldn't. Like I couldn't. I don't think that non-car people are really understand. I think they believe all of the hype.
Sure.
And I don't think they hear any of the data about why this is a half-baked product. And they don't really know the differences between like what Waymo is doing and what Tesla is doing. They just go, well, it didn't crash today, so it must be safe. And you know, they're reasonable people. They're not like yay Elon fans. They just like literally are like, I'm bad at driving, and this is better than me at driving.
I was going to say, if it's better than him, that's a slippery slope.
I know.
Well, is it better to have this thing driving than to have Jeff driving?
It would be better to have Jeff get better at driving. Sure. That's what would be better. There's a third door here, you know? And I tried to explain sensor redundancy, and I tried to explain all that kind of stuff, and I don't think I got anywhere.
Right, his eyes glazed over.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
think
sure,
we went home.
Read.
We went home with, it didn't crash today. You know, like, and I go, Jeff, if it does crash, just so you know, it's your fault. Legally, it's your fucking fault. And he goes, I know, but like, I don't think it will. I was like,
well, he's gotten to trust it. I mean, it's like anything. You know, you swim in the ocean, someone's going to say, hey, there's sharks in there, and you go, all right, well, I've been swimming in the ocean for 25 years, never even seen a shark, and I want to keep swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody cares about my... Oh, wait, we already did one from them. Mm-hmm. Nothing on that says, living in the north, rust kills cars faster than anything, but you guys being in Southern California, what kills cars there? Not being able to pass smog, mileage, potholes?
Sun. The sun here is like truly whatever is the amount of UV that comes through here, the intensity, the frequency, all that stuff. Like it will eat paint.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what company made it, whatever. Like if you get a brand new car and it lives outside here versus living outside in Oregon or somewhere else, it's going to get cooked real quick.
The other thing could be salt if you live near the ocean. Where
That's very true.
If you live, you know, Zach's old place. Yep. Zach lived second row from the ocean and parked his car outside. So the combination of the salt air and the sun, that's problematic. Smog isn't that much of a problem, actually.
No. Potholes will add up to, you know, requiring more maintenance over time. Bushings, all that stuff. Yeah.
I may be a snowflake, but Grand Seiko is too. That's pretty funny. Let's see. The progression of sports cars has been more power, more tech, more acceleration, more computers, more, rinse and repeat, leading further and further away from the simplify and add lightness ethos. Could there be a developing hole in the market for simplified lightweight sports cars, or are those of us who wish there was doomed to be represented by the capitalistic enthusiasts who think more is always the answer? You're going to have to look outside of mainstream OEMs. Mainstream OEMs will not have a business case for a product like that. You're going to have to look at Caterhams. You're going to have to look at Morgans. You're going to have to look at older cars that are resto modded. You're going to, I mean, the across the board resto mod market. There's that guy in England putting V6s and stuff into Miatas for like $100 grand. Mm-hmm. There's a company resto modding almost every type of enthusiast car out there. There's imported Japanese cars, but there is no mass community that wants a simple lightweight sports car. It's always going to be a niche product from here on out. So you're going to have to go to niche sources to get it.
Yep.
Sweden Low. I recently bought a Studio Underdog watch during their recent restock event. Their founder is all over Instagram about banning people who resell their pieces. What a fucking loser. Problem is, once it's on my wrist, I really just don't like it as much as I'd hoped. It's a bit on the small side. Yes, they are. Studio Underdog makes a beautiful watch, all of which are 37 fucking millimeter. So that's why I haven't bought one yet. But wait, what should they do? Do I take the risk and sell it anyways? Keep it and wear it sparingly, or wait some period of time and sell it later. I mean, look, if you buy something from somebody, it's yours. Fucking sell it. And by the way, if this guy's that upset about people reselling their pieces, he doesn't understand the market, because you need to have some kind of robust secondhand market for your piece to have any kind of value. If it has no used value, unless they drop so fast, unless the used values are so low that they don't want to see that, here's an option: offer to sell it back to them.
Yeah.
Offer to return it. You know, I know you don't want to sell this. I know you don't want me to flip it. I'm not trying to flip it. I like it. I like your company, but this isn't working for me. What can I do? Mm-hmm. Start there.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you should be able to either return it, have them buy it back, have them connect you to another buyer. Maybe it was sold out. Somebody else wants it, whatever. Try the friendly ways first, but like, after that, after you've tried the friendly way, if they don't open the door, fuck them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Buy my PPI. If I could only have one Grand Seiko in your collection, what would it be? Oh, this is so easy. The Kodo. The Grand Seiko Kodo. It's $360,000. So, but yeah, sure. If I could have a Grand Seiko Kodo, fuck with that. It's only $360,000.
Sell half the Countach?
Sell everything. Sell everything to buy a watch.
I know you already asked a question, but we should talk about this Arizona thing, because it's kind of the story of the week.
Nobody cares about my G70 says an Arizona rep has introduced legislation to create unrestricted speed zones on certain highways during daylight hours. Do you think it's a good idea? That's really it. Do you think it's a good idea?
And will it catch
Intended
on?
to speed up driving times through less populated areas. Is that really something that is needed?
Hey, man, let's not look a gift horse in the mouth, okay?
Look, I mean, is it a good? I haven't seen the math on what the point is of this.
It seems a bit like the Montana thing. I think
it's called the Reasonable and Prudent Interstate Driving Act, RAPID, focused on eliminating speed restrictions in rural sections of Arizona. Be piloted on a stretch of Interstate 8. I mean, okay.
And I will add, they say that additional roads will be chosen, but only after engineering studies, safety records, and highway design standards. So that's good. They're not just going to say, hey, this road is empty, go for it, even though the tarmac is fucked and there's a bunch of dangerous stuff in the middle of the road. So that is good.
Sure. I mean, I am not against this. I mean, I'm never going to say that getting rid of a speed limit on a highway in the middle of nowhere is a bad idea. If I find myself out there, I'm going to do 200 miles an hour. Like, why not? If you say I can, let's fucking go. The proposed highway requirements for de-restricting speed limits include locations outside urbanized areas with population of 50,000 or more residents, a crash rate below the statewide average over the last 5 years, and existing infrastructure that meets or exceeds state standards. Strong need for correct signage and annual safety audits of de-restricted segments,
education,
as well as driver education around passing.
All right.
If you are going to get rid of speed limits, you should make it illegal to camp out in the left lane.
Yeah.
I mean, because if that's what's going to happen, cars are going to be going triple digits.
Yep.
There needs to be an area where a car can know that there isn't going to be someone doing 62 moving into the left lane.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge will be educating the public, because in Germany, when you get your license, it's explained to you how the Autobahn works and how the lane discipline works. We don't have that here. I mean, maybe they tell you in driver training,
Nobody
but no one
gives
a shit. But they're going to have to give a shit, or they're going to die.
Yeah.
So getting that message
America has the
across
worst lane discipline of any country I've ever driven in.
Sure.
Except for like including places that would be considered like developing nations. I would say it's still better.
Another challenge is that you have people passing across different states on road trips and stuff. So does this person from California or Idaho or whatever, did they get the memo on how this highway works?
Where is Interstate 8 in Arizona? I don't even really know where that is. And can I max out this lucid gravity? I mean, I'm sure it's big, but I don't know that road in particular.
I'm pulling it up.
Highway 8 in Arizona is, zoom. Oh, wow, okay. So this is, fuck me. Okay, so this is really, it runs across the southern part of the state near the Mexico border. And it's basically like if you were going from Phoenix to San Diego, that's what you would take. That's pretty remote. I mean, that area, that section between Gila Bend and wherever, there ain't shit out there, man.
Yeah, is this air?
That's Mexico.
No, this is Mexico.
Oh,
right?
yeah. What is? I don't know.
I was wondering if that's like military or
do not fuck around zone.
Right. I don't know.
Zoom out. Oops. Let me see if it's labeled. Can you zoom out more? I don't know.
All right.
Just the fucking desert death zone.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So that does seem like a good spot for that. You know, this is very straight. I mean,
it's very straight, and there ain't nothing there. So,
like, if we do what is the distance? Oh, how do I do that? I'm just curious how long the straightaway is to answer your question about
there. Measure distance from there to
Citrus City.
Here.
That's 12 miles.
Yeah,
dead
just
straight.
Yeah.
That's enough. Yeah. But yeah,
education
is the challenge.
I don't hate it as long as you don't have people camping out in the left lane and fucking it all up.
Yeah.
Two guys in the back of a Lexus, Texas says, I'm expecting a strong raise at the end of this year, and I'm contemplating my first sports car. Is it bad that I keep coming back to an older Viper? I like how they look, and yeah, $40K should be good for a decent one. I'm in Northern California. If you got to start somewhere. First sports car. We were just talking about Vipers. And what's good about Vipers is they're straightforward. They're generally dependable. You know, the powertrains are robust. There's plenty of them around that are pretty well kept. And they do look cool. I think I agree. They do look cool, and they sound interesting. And if you keep coming back to that, this was like me and my first collector car really was a DeLorean. It turned out that wasn't the fucking one, but the process of finding it, you know, getting it worked on, driving it a bit, and learning that, oh, actually, it wasn't really what I thought. That's like part of the process. So like, you got to start somewhere, and so like, why not a Viper? Sounds good to me. Quadrifoglio O-Face had the lovely experience of opening the tailgate of my Lucid Gravity mid-car wash last week as I scrambled to turn off the wipers with the non-buttons on the left of the screen. They're about a pixel apart when the tailgate one pops up. That sucks. Any wrong button mishaps you guys have had? Wrong button mishaps?
Like I hit the wrong button?
I mean, the Ferrari SF90, you brush the prompt thing for the voice command like so often. It's like so annoying.
When we had the M8 and the gesture control was turned on and I was like talking on the phone, and all of a sudden it started talking to me because I moved my hand in a certain way.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Gesture controls stink.
Terrible idea.
I mean, wrong button mishaps. I've never opened a power door in the middle of a car wash, if you know what I mean. I've definitely, so in a right-hand drive car, I've accidentally hit the blinker instead, or the wiper instead of the blinker. That a lot,
yeah.
And if I have a camera mounted on the windshield, remember in New Zealand, I had a camera mounted on the windshield. I accidentally hit the wiper instead of the blinker. The wiper peeled off the rubber of the camera, which sent it into the fucking woods.
Yeah.
And we had to spend half an hour finding this camera in the woods.
You almost did that in the DBX video. But
I almost did.
Suction was good.
Almost did in the DBX video as well. Yep. Tripping on ADAS. That's pretty funny. Have either of you ever owned cars that were reliability anomalies? For example, a Honda or Toyota that always broke down or needed work, or et cetera, et cetera.
I think that my 97 Jetta was an anomaly because I drove it hard for 3 years with like terrible maintenance. I slid into a curb hard, and I can't believe I didn't whatever, time machine the wheels. Yeah. And it just worked. It had no issues. Got so lucky.
Never had never had a Honda or Toyota that constantly broke down. No.
The Lexus that had power steering fluid dripping on the alternator, that was a weird thing.
Well, the million-mile Lexus, that was user error.
Yeah, because it was the wrong fluid,
because
right?
people were filling the power steering fluid with power steering fluid.
Crazy.
And in that car, it uses ATF.
Yep.
So if you do that, it then fucks up the gasket, which then drips onto the alternator, and then you have a big fucking problem. No. All of the reliability of all my, I have had overwhelmingly good reliability experiences with all of my cars. Overwhelmingly so. I've never had a car that was just a fucking nightmare over and over, ever, of any kind. Let's see.
Keep going.
The OU8. No, I mean, do we really want to answer that guy's question? It was really the one you just deleted.
I replied in the chat.
Yeah,
about the podcast thing, right?
Yeah. But I just didn't like the tone of the question, actually.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Bush did 997. What are your favorite gearboxes or shifters?
NSX.
I feel like we get asked this a lot.
I think we do.
0406 Ford GT, Honda S2000, Ferrari 430 manual,
Gen 1 NSX, 550.
Yeah, the Ferrari gated, any of the Ferrari 6-speed gated. Okay.
I think basically the temp wheel in the BMW also aims things at the floor, but I thought that turned the heat up in the whole car in a BMW.
Oh yeah, single barrel V8 Vintage wants to go back to what we were asked. We were asked before the break about climate control that can do the upper and the lower separately, meaning you would have cool air on the top and warm air on the bottom, or vice versa. And they're suggesting that BMW has the scrolling wheel on the dash with the digital for the feet and dash. Now, I've never learned how to properly use that wheel.
Neither have
I don't think anybody knows how to use that wheel.
I just, I mean, I could read the manual for my car and learn how to use the wheel, but instead, I don't know. When I went up to Good Vibes and it was cold, I turned the wheel up to hot. The car seemed to heat up quicker inside. I forget what it bypasses, and someone's going to yell at me because I should know this, but I don't think I have not noticed it only changing the temperature aimed at my feet. It seems to heat the entire vehicle.
This is a good question. Shelby GT Trifidi, at what percentage price point relation to the car's value does a wrap not make sense? For example, I have a $60,000 car, and if I spend $10K on a wrap, that's 16% of the car's value. That makes me want to cry even if I can afford it. But if I had a $200,000 car, spending the $10K is a no-brainer. Am I crazy? Well, here's another question. Your $60,000 car, by the time you're done with it, is it going to be a $60,000 car or is it going to be a $40,000 car? Same question for your $200,000 car. Is that going to be going up in value and your money is going to come out in the wash or possibly add a little bit of value on the other end? Or are you just protecting a car that is going to depreciate no matter what? Second is, like, if you had to repaint the front end from rock chips, what is the price point of that relative to a wrap? So if you had to get body work done on a paint-to-sample Ferrari or a tritone or a very metallic color that could be expensive, or a Mistachrome, then now it's a question of, how is the paint now? Are you buying a brand new car and it's perfect? Or are you buying a used car and it's maybe less than perfect? Or are you buying a used car where it is perfect and you want to drive it? So, like, to me, it's not necessarily I don't do the math relative to the car's purchase price, basically. It's, what is the condition of this car today, and how important is it to me to freeze the car in this condition? And I'm talking about clear paint protection film. If you're talking about color change wrap, that's a different thing. You also have a question of, do you actually want to change the color? I'm assuming clear protective film. And 10K is high, by the way. That's high. Like,
it's usually like 7 to wrap a full car in clear, right?
A fairly normal sports car, let's call it a 911 or my NSX, $7,500, $8,000. You get to GT3 RS or something with a bunch of disjointed panels that involve a lot of custom work.
Right.
Now 10, 11. You'd be hard pressed to find a $60,000 car that'll crack 10, unless it's like your car where they
had to cut a lot of little pieces. Well, even
your
if my
car had body work, even though it wasn't.
Oh,
body,
totally. But
yeah.
I think, let's say if my car was brand new, made the way it was, one of the things they pointed out is that the shapes of cars have changed. So new cars have a lot more large panels that they can cover in one sheet. My car, the bumper, they had to cut 10 individual pieces.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you bought a new McLaren for $300,000, I bet it would be harder to cover all those little pieces that move versus a Bentley $300,000.
Sure,
a lot of large pieces,
big sheets.
Yeah.
Rolls Royces are like easy as hell to wrap. You know. So, like, you're not wrong to do the math, and you're not crazy that, putting a full there's a third door here. If you have your 60K car, you could just do impact zone PPF, which will be the nose and the mirror caps, and that'll offer you a lot more protection than nothing, and it'll be a third or a half of the price as a full one. So, like, the Countach, I'm not putting film on. It's original paint. It's nicked up all over the place. It's thin paint, so I would almost certainly damage it removing this stuff later.
That's a big thing
to
consider.
So there's no point. The NSX, I got it, and it was so mint. And I was like, well, I want to drive it and not have to worry about it. And it's probably going up in value. And so if I do this PPF, I'll protect it. And if I go to sell it, it'll be a value add. And in the meantime, I can seal in this mint. And it fucking worked because I found myself in a windstorm with sticks and shit getting blown all over the car. Like the first week I had the car. I guarantee you that the 7,500 PPF saved me $50,000. Guaranteed. I would have had to repaint the whole car.
Yeah.
And so...
And also, paint matching can be very difficult, like on the respray thing. A friend of ours is buying a silver car and called me about wrap stuff the other day. And the front bumper has nicks in it, but to repaint that and then make sure it matches, because if the car is used, even if the paint's in good condition...
It might have faded. They don't really know.
Faded over 10, 15 years. Yeah. Now, can you match the faded color? Because they're going to order the OEM color, but it's not going to be the same.
Correct. So it's there's the math problem, and obviously your budget is gonna be affected by the math problem, okay? But there's also, what's the condition of the car today, and do you want to freeze that condition for the next 10 years? That's what you're doing. So there's other factors. Good question, though.
To go back to the wheel real quick, that is called the stratification wheel, according to BMW, and it does allow you to change the temperature of the vents directly next to that wheel versus what the climate is set to. So if your climate is set to cold everywhere, aimed at your feet, but you change the stratification wheel that's on the dash, it will blow hot air towards your face.
Okay. The three shells game, if you live somewhere rural with good offerings but a lack of enthusiast options, I'm not sure what offerings means. How do you start a local enthusiast group? I don't know. I've never started a local enthusiast group. I mean,
somewhere rural with good. Does it mean like? Do you mean like good roads? You know, are you not near a city, but there's good roads and there's not a lot of like car groups? Best place to begin if I want to meet. If you want to meet, an easy thing is food. Say, hey, like. When I go to...
if I want to meet that's about driving our cars instead of standing around in a parking lot. I mean, how do you start a group? Like the internet.
Yep.
Like that's how you do it. I mean, I've never had to do this before. So you're asking me to come up with a guess of something I've never tried to do. When Larry and I had the driving club, which is what this is, how did we start it? Well, we had our customers.
Right.
We emailed our existing car wash customers and said, we're doing a thing. So, like, you know, you're starting from zero, put on an event, put on a something. I mean, you got to find at least a couple of people manually.
Right. I was going to say, what's funny is if it's rural, you might actually have to go old school with, like, flyers or get some stickers made and, like, I don't know, go to like the auto, like O'Reilly's, go to where you've seen cool cars. Like seriously, drive by someone's house, and if you see a cool car, go, hey, I'm starting a driving group, car group, whatever. You know, we're going to meet at this time. And once you get 5 people, like they start sharing on Facebook, blah blah blah. Like it will spread.
Yeah. But, you know, rookie mistakes to avoid. I mean, here's the problem. If you start a driving group, you're then responsible for what those people are doing. Someone kills somebody. Who organized this? That guy. So my advice is to never start a driving group. You are assuming responsibility for what other people are going to do in their cars as you are simultaneously encouraging them to drive their cars in a way that may not be legal.
Yeah.
So
there might be a way to make it less official where you're like, we're going to meet here for pizza. Mm-hmm. And then when pizza's over, you're like, all right, well, I'm going to go drive up this hill thing. Anybody else want to go? I don't know. In court, who knows what's going to happen. But that is something to be aware of.
Yeah. That's, I mean, you got to be real
also
careful.
Setting rules up front. Like, and you can usually tell if you have some people show up that are going to be risky. They're usually going to be under 25 years old. You can start there. But if you're like the lead driver, setting the speed low and responsible because you don't want to get in trouble if someone kills somebody is a very good way to start.
Yeah.
You just got to be really careful.
Yeah. I mean, I balance these risks all the time because I lead drives for Road and Track. I mean, I lead drives that are put on by a corporation. Mm-hmm. And my customers expect to have a good time and drive at a decent pace. And so I, after doing this for 20 years, have found a pace that I can lead a group that's safe, attentive, people don't get lost, but also the drivers feel like they're having a good time and the passengers aren't terrified, you know, and I make it seem really uncool to drive like a shithead. I set that up from day one. And, you know, if you're trying to start a driving group with people you don't know and that, you know, maybe from all different backgrounds and whatever, that's risky, very risky. You're responsible for that. You can get sued for the shit like that, you know. 2 cats, 1 car. Thinking of selling my Audi RS3 because the seats kill my back on long drives. I'm doing 3,000 highway miles a month. That's a lot. What are some of the best seats you've experienced?
Acura, pretty much any Acura driven.
The price point, Acura.
Yeah, MDX or RDX, very good.
For just... I think Volvo is absolutely fabulous. Their seats are fabulous.
I agree.
Porsche's 18 ways, you know, or 14 ways, but really the 18 ways are kick-ass in either, you know, the Panamera or the Cayenne.
Even that, going back to like the fundamental, the more adjustability, the better. Because you can literally, like, my seats are 25 years old, but they're very adjustable, and I can lift my back the way I need to. Mm-hmm. And if I get in a seat from a more expensive car now that's a 4-way, it's oftentimes worse because it doesn't support me very well. Yeah.
I mean, I was just talking in the video that'll be out, you know, this week for the Ferrari 12C. Dude, that car's $600,000. It doesn't have adjustable lumbar.
That's insane.
Like, what are we doing?
I feel like Ferrari seats routinely disappoint us. Either it's not optioned to the gills, and even when it is, those, like, I think Sabelt makes them, you got, like, the foam is kind of thin. Dude, and so it's a little bit hard, and, like, yeah, it's kind of racy bucket, but in a car of that cost and that big, like, it's meant for crossing long distance.
You know who I just met at the Concours Club was the CEO of Sabelt, who was there, and I said to him, you know, I like your products, I like your safety products. I go, I got to tell you, I just drove this $600,000 Ferrari, and you made their seats, and it does not have adjustable lumbar support. And he said, well, we make like 4 seats for that car. And it depends which one, you know, the base seat does not have an adjustable lumbar support. And I said, is that weird? And he said, well, I mean, you know, Ferrari people or, you know, whatever. And I go, but this car came equipped with like special contrast stitching. And I was like, do you normally see like someone who would order like a highly optioned car with the base seat? And he goes, yeah, you see that. You do see that.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, weird.
I wonder if that's someone who goes, if I get these options if I get the contrast stitching with carbon fiber, people will see that.
Well,
but they won't see the special seat.
Press car. I mean, if you're speccing a press car, you put all the options on that you can see.
Yeah.
And, you know, when the reviewer complains about lack of lumbar, you just go, well, it's available.
You do what we just did where you're like, you can option it.
Yeah.
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 Weird. But you know what sucks about that? I'm telling this to like the PR people that order the car is then we can't tell anybody if the seat's good or not, which maybe you want, but we want to be able to tell people the optioned 8-way is great. Because what do we talk about with Porsche all the time? Get the good ones because we've experienced them. They're good, and that probably inspires people to buy the better seat.
Yeah. Live Axl Rose for 100 to 200K. What is the best driving experience if I want a gated manual gearbox car that's mid-engine and has 10 or 12 cylinders? R8 V10 or Ferrari Testarossa. These are enormously different cars.
They are so different, but I love this question.
These are huge different cars.
How often do you want to use this vehicle?
Yeah. I mean, like, so the R8 V10 is only going to feel not like a brand new car, really, because the UI, the screen and shit will be older. But, like, the way you use that car with like fully automatic climate control and like all the things that like a modern Audi would have, it's not going to feel like an old car. A Testarossa is an old car, 40 years old. It's going to feel old. Now, it's a wonderful thing, and Testarossas are very well made. In my opinion, they're not that exciting to drive. I don't think the flat 12 is that exciting of an engine compared to some other engines. The Testarossa is a lovely touring car. Like I said, they're built really solidly. And if you do the major services and the maintenances, they are reasonably reliable cars. People who drive them a lot, they do tend to work properly, actually. But it's going to feel like an old car. It's not going to feel like a new car, like a modern car. It's not going to have like good air conditioning. You know, it's going to be clunky. It's going to be heavy controls and stuff like that. The ergonomics aren't going to be, your feet are going to be like offset to the right and, you know, things like that.
I think you're also, and I was trying to look up, Brian Scott just had this amazing woman on his show, Victoria Bruno. She's like a 25-year-old Ferrari tech. She works on vintage stuff.
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
But she has a Testarossa that she drove from the Bay Area down to San Diego for this show, and she's like trying to highlight that, yes, you can use these cars, but she can work on the car herself.
Yeah.
So this person has to be ready to incur the cost that will come with driving it a lot. So
it'll work better if you drive it a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to service it more, but it will be more reliable. Like those 80s Ferraris, if you just start using them as a car, like they work really good, actually. They're very happy to be driven every day, and they don't like sitting. So, like, that's pretty cool. And, like, they are nice, but it's a heavy-feeling car. It doesn't have power steering. The shifter linkage is pretty tight. The clutch pedal is going to be kind of heavy.
AC might work, might not work.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly analog. So it's very hard to say. One isn't better than the other.
Yeah.
That's the problem. The problem with asking a question, and I'm not trying to, but like,
no, sure.
A lot of people start a question with what's the best, and unless one of your two choices is like a horrible piece of junk or something, like it's very rare that you come upon best. It's like, well, this delivers this, and this delivers this, and they're not the same. So, like, which do you want?
Well, like, if you want speed and more modern driving in terms of, like, braking performance, steering feel and performance, convenience, comfort, R8. And when you roll into a parking lot, it's still going to have a presence. It's still going to draw a look. I think they're amazing.
Yeah,
I think
they're
beautiful
cool
cars. The Testarossa, it has mystique about it. It will draw more people in a parking lot, and it will deliver a different type of driving experience. But so you have to decide, do you want the whole like vintage thing and the classic sound and the whole like roll into the parking lot and win, but sometimes get a flatbed home, or do you want to go with R8?
Yeah, I mean, you might still end up on a flatbed, but it's just, they're very different experiences. A 40-year-old driving experience versus a 7-year-old, 8-year-old driving experience. These are worlds apart, man. You know, a Testarossa is not a regular car. An R8 can be a regular car. You know, a Testarossa cannot be a regular car. It will never be a regular car. It's a good question, but it's hard. There is no best. My cat's name is Bethany. Says Polestar has recently discontinued the 2, at least in the U.S., and undergone a reverse stock split recently, which doesn't look good for its future as a standalone brand. I've had a Polestar 2 for the last 2 years. How fucked am I if Polestar closes down its U.S. operations? I've seen service delays on parts even before last year. my guess is Volvo dealers will continue to service Polestars. I mean, Polestar is not that removed from Volvo at this point that it couldn't be, right?
Yeah.
They could pick up the pieces if they wanted to.
I think they either feel an obligation. I don't know if there's a legal obligation, but I'm sure they will keep maintaining those cars because they know how to service them. They might have some parts inventory. I wouldn't want to own one. Let's say Polestar closes or whatever. I wouldn't want to own a Polestar 2 10 years from now when part supply dwindles or they have to, we got to change because the power unit uses this old cable, but no one uses that anymore. You don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. But for the short term, you'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
There's only 3 left.
Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. How much of a factor do you think your driving skills played or didn't play in your success? As in, if you weren't as good of a driver, would that have impeded your ability to reach the place that you've reached or not at all? What are the top factors into overall success you've had in your career? It's definitely played a part.
For sure.
You, if you're known for somebody who can go quick enough without bending the car, you're in the pocket. That's the sweet spot. Everybody is willing to give you keys to their cars, knowing they're going to get that car back in the same condition.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to do that, and if you fuck up a couple of times big enough, it's gone forever.
Well, and you, especially with the one-take stuff, you're putting your resume on YouTube. Fans can see it. They go, oh, that looks like it'll be a fun day, but my car will come back, and it just kind of feeds itself.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like, I joined because I wanted to drive the cars, but I didn't, I was like behind camera for the first whatever amount of time. But the fact that you guys trusted me to drive a camera car was like instrumental to my career. Because otherwise I would have been relegated to, I don't know, whatever else position.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have gotten the other jobs I got. Like all of that was kind of like,
people
there
who
was
get
trust.
to drive and people who don't get to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but it's not, driving skills come from a lifetime of giving a shit and practicing.
Yeah,
so
interest.
It's not, nobody wakes up being a good driver. Some people, and like, by the way, I'm not the authority on this. There's a million fucking drivers better than me. But like, I really did care about it, and I really still do care about it. It's something that's very important to me, continuing to get better at driving and practicing and always taking every opportunity to like learn and get better. It's really, really important. And if that isn't a passion, or if that wasn't a passion for me, I don't think I would have been as successful. For sure. It's incredibly important. Other top factors, just keeping going.
Yeah.
I mean, keeping going when you don't want to keep going when the money sucks, keeping going, like Eddie Vedder said, the main reason we're still here is because we didn't break up.
Yeah.
And also, lots of patience. And look, straight up, luck. And at least in the beginning, the resources of my parents. I didn't tap into them all that much, but the children of rich parents can make risks.
Right.
That
you
other
have a backstop.
that other people, most people, you fuck up a business, you don't get another crack at it so easily. If I fucked up a business, I would have been able to make the sheepish call like, hey, I need some money, and I wouldn't have been in a cardboard box. Like that is an incredible privilege and benefit that like most people don't get. And dude, so much right place, right time.
Yeah.
So much like luck, like just fucking luck.
I think some luck, but I think both you and I and Tom, like we moved to this LA at the same time.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other, but like we all were in. I think having the passion for cars is very important because it will keep you going when there's no money. It'll keep you going when like that motivated us for a long time, still does, and it motivated us to go, where do they make media with automobiles? Los Angeles, I guess. So like we put ourselves there, and then there's a lot of luck with that timing, but I think we also just started saying yes to things that made sense for where we wanted to end up.
Yeah. I mean, I got in the door not because I woke up one day and said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and make fucking 100 videos. I got in the door because a guy said, I made like 5 videos with Larry.
Right, that's right.
Like 5 videos to promote our business with Larry. And a guy said, do you want a job? A full-time job making videos? Like, that doesn't happen. That's never going to happen again. Nobody is ever going to make 5 videos and then a corporation is going to hire them to make videos full-time. That doesn't happen. So, like, if that didn't happen, none of this happens. I'd be running a car wash with Larry still probably, you know? So, luck, you know, and then when the luck strikes, be ready. You know, like when you get the opportunity, take it, don't fuck it up. You know, keep going through the bad times and continue to develop whatever your skills are that will make you, I mean, when I couldn't afford Tom anymore to edit, I learned to edit. Yep. You can't afford to do this thing? Well, I better learn to do it. Can't afford to, well, better learn to do this myself. Like, you know, just fucking keep going, you know. Panic at My Disco. What was the rationale behind setting a reserve on the NSX versus going no reserve? I was literally just hedging against the possibility that because it was between Christmas and New Year's, that the traffic just might be horrible and it just potentially could tank. The reserve was low. The reserve was 153 or something. Like I would have broke even, but like if it didn't hit reserve, it would have been it would have been a major tank. So like I didn't want to take a huge bath on that car.
Right.
And I didn't feel like I should.
You could also, if it peaked at 140, you can keep the car stored. You can wait till people kind of get their money after the tax returns in April. Like
Yes. If it tanked, I could have relisted it later elsewhere, and it wouldn't have been a huge
I think
deal.
some people, when they go reserve off, they just need to get it out because it's costing them more money to sit on it or whatever.
Yeah. This car, it was just because I wanted to sell it before the end of the year, but if it wasn't going to get at least above a certain threshold that I strongly believed it would get to no matter what, and it did, that I did not want to have to take a low number just because. Whereas in the past, Fox Body or whatever, like, you know, I wasn't into that car for that much money. A lot of people donated their time or donated products or a lot of sponsored stuff. And so no reserve, fuck it, send it. Because like it's fine. If this thing makes 25 grand, like no big deal. And it was charity, it was fun, and I do love a no reserve auction under the right circumstances. This one though, it was really that end of year timing where I go, I think it'll be fine, but like just in case, I'm not literally going to bet $150,000 that it'll be fine, you know. Last one. Chris Suyat says, happy 10-year anniversary of the supercharged Huracan video. All right. I almost threw that video away.
Because of the log.
Because of the log. This is fucked. Guy was dragging a log. I almost threw that away. Instead, we did 4 million views or something in 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Yep. Best. That's the other, luck. Virality half the time is just luck. You know? Yeah. Crazy. Well, if you feel like you were shortchanged this month because you didn't get a podcast the first week, just think about last year where we took off the entire first month and people stuck around. So we gave you 3 more weeks of podcasts, plus we put up the Pro Show. Yep. The Pro Patrons got podcast last week. It was a long show,
and
too.
They got it early in January.
They got it early in January. It was a long show, and they got it while other people weren't. There is value in the Patreon, folks. Get in the game while you can. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We will see you next time. Bye.